And we are live. Let's do it. Welcome to Coin Gang Ministries, y'all. We back again. As always, if you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. Get the volume right. If you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. It is hump day, yo. No, tomorrow's hump day. Okay, got you. Get my days mixed up. How you guys doing? What's up, yo? What's popping? You know what I'm saying? Let's see who we got in the chat already. You know what I'm saying? Tough love in the building. Son, what it do? Miss Tamika, how are you, love? Bethany, what's goody? What's up with it? Chris Ward in the building. What it do? Man, I love to see these names pop up, man. These are familiar names that I'm seeing, man. What's up with it? Dean, what it do? What's happening? Louis Elijah, how are you? What's going on, y'all? Make sure you like and share the video. You know what we do here. You know what I mean? You know what this is. This is Coin Gang Ministries. What it do? You know, I just want to give some love real quick. Jeffrey, how are you? How are you? Man, some of these names, yo, I don't take this for granted because mad people is going live. And some of these names are reoccurring names. Oh, Craig. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I owe you a phone call. What's up, fam? Some of these names are reoccurring names. That's loyalty. I don't take that for granted. You know, that's why I always bring it. You know what I mean? No days off because I don't take your attention for granted. Y'all are fathers and mothers and husbands and wives, and y'all could be doing a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? So I make sure I bring it to the table every time, you know. So this is Coin Gang Ministries. This is a heaven on earth ministry. Heaven on earth ministry. Yeah. There's some ministries that's gonna prepare you to die and you'll get everything in the afterlife. Nothing wrong with that. But this is a heaven on earth ministry. We want our shit now, right? We don't believe in going through hell to get to heaven. We believe in living through heaven and have a hell of a time doing it. My name is Ken Billions. If you don't know, I thank you for opening up your heart and your mind to me today. I got a great topic, a great build. But before I even get into that, I want to give some shout outs to some unsung heroes that you don't even know, that's playing a big role in the background, allowing me to do what I do, allowing me to buy equipment, allowing me to travel, cop books, allowing me to live in my purpose. So let me just shout out some names that it's so many, but let me just give a few shout outs to the names that have hit my Cash App. Now, this is not even people that call my hotline. This is not the people that hit up kenbillions.com. Let me just shoot something to some shout outs to people on the Cash App, man. Paul Dio, Mighty Lion, Corey Bill Sr., Shar, C. Rivers, Lowell Dennis, David Lopez, Ryan G. This I might butcher your name. Tukamba Laska, Leslie, Tia Cherie, Michael, Eric Gonzalez, Robert Jeffries, Farides, Derek Wader, Esteban Rodriguez, Mark, Christy Singletary, Derek Wader again, Devon Humphreys. Some people have gave $1, some people have gave a couple hundred. You know, I don't know what people's pockets look like. But if you even gave anything, you know what I mean? Shout out to you. Stacy Hightower, Javon Ford, Clyde, Jennifer Brown, Terry Roberts, Lance Powell, Jay Jackson, Marcellus Christie, Andre Hemmings, Gerald Avery, Sharon, Dante Parker, Ricardo Winchester Sr., Dina Wallace, David, Corey Colloway, Diamond Clark. I'm just running it down. showing some love to the Cash App supporters. You know what I'm saying? It's so many, man. I don't want to miss no one's name. Monica Johnson, Jeremiah Brown, Michelle Hobson, Anna Marie Bowles, Jamel Williams. Salute to you, everybody. Salute to you. It's so many. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give love because you guys are the behind the scenes people. And you know what I'm saying? I'm on camera, but you guys are making this thing crack off though, right? So shout out to you because there's some people that have been watching me for years and be in my inbox, and they ain't never gave nothing. So shout out to all these people. All right. So today I want to talk about standards. I want to talk about expectations. I want to talk about advocacy. I want to also have a conversation about finished product. I want to talk about the grind, and I want to talk about homework. What are you talking about, Ken? Well, let's start it off like this. What is the future of a people that rewards mediocrity? How far can you get as a people, as a culture, if you don't aim high and reach for something more? How far can you get? Again, what is the reward? What is the future for a people that rewards mediocrity? How far can you get if you never reach for something more? My topic today is top shelf or nothing. That's my topic today. Top shelf or nothing. What do I mean by top shelf or nothing? I mean operating at a certain level and never going under that. And top shelf is in every space in your life. How you eat, who you sleep with, the places you live, places you vacation, the cars you drive, the music you listen to, the things you watch on television, who you hang with. Top shelf or nothing at all. Now, does that mean you drive a Benz or a Bentley or a Phantom? No. You can have a Honda. But how do you treat the Honda? If I get in your car, what does it look like? Do you get it detailed? Do you keep it clean? Does that mean you got Gucci shoes on? No. But what are you rocking and how are you treating it? Does it mean your husband is the most handsome dude in the world? No, it does not. But he keeps himself up. He's a hard worker. He's dependable. He's responsible. That's what makes him top shelf. Does it mean your lady, bruh, is going to have the biggest butt? Prettiest woman? No. But how does she treat herself, though? What does her self-care game look like? That's what makes her top shelf. Your children, when they come around people, are they respectable? Do they respect you? That's what makes them top shelf. I'm talking about a standard. I'm talking about a commitment to excellence. Oh, we're going to go there. Make sure you like and share the video. We're going to go there. Because it's an important conversation, especially when you look like this and they tell you to settle for garbage. They tell you that keeping it real is ratchet shit. No quality. The boulevard of broken dreams. They expect you to take less for the greater good. They expect you to struggle. Now, it's two types of struggles. It's the struggle to achieve, and then it's the struggle of lack. You just ain't got enough, and you ain't never had enough, and you ain't never gonna have enough. See, building a business is a struggle. I like that. Let's call that positive struggle, shall we? Getting in shape and staying there. See, I like that struggle. That's called positive struggle. Staying married. That's a struggle. You stick a man and a woman together from two different backgrounds, and then you put them in one house and everyone expects them to just figure it out and get along. It don't work like that. So the people that can thug it out, I like that kind of struggle. That's a positive struggle. Raising children on your own. Taking your last to move up out of trash ass hood. Walking out on faith. Going to a new city where you don't know nobody. But you know you got to get your babies away from these animals. See, I like that struggle. That's a positive struggle. That's a struggle that says, you know what? I'm going to take the stairs. And America teaches us, if you keep knocking, someone is going to answer. See, I like that struggle. See, they get us to focus on another type of struggle, okay? A struggle that deals with lack. You don't have shit, and you ain't never going to have shit. And that's your birthright. But don't worry, the meek shall inherit the earth. I don't like that. When a person talks about the Black experience, do you know they're talking about an experience of L's? Listen to the rhetoric. Oh, to be Black in America. You mean to tell me that is the only experience available to us? That right there? Well, why don't I just check out and call it quits right now then? Because y'all have set the bar pretty low, if you ask me. So you mean to tell me, because my skin is brown, if I have something for $20 and I'm not running no sale, I should give it to you for $13? Really? You're telling me that when you look like this, the only thing available to us is mediocrity? Top shelf or nothing is a conversation that we need to have, because the narrative suggests that if you're a person with a top shelf philosophy, you're acting white. If you're a woman and you want to date a certain caliber of guy because you're a certain caliber of woman, oh, sis, something is wrong with you. Interesting. I thought like attracts like. So if a woman is putting in work and then she requires a dude that is on the same level or above, something is wrong with her? But I thought like attracts like. If a dude doesn't see himself as a casualty, if a dude doesn't see himself as a victim, something is wrong with him? If he's a free thinker and he goes away from the narrative? Really? I think culturally people may be scared of being top shelf. Because when you become top shelf and that's your philosophy and that is your standard, now you have to be accountable, and people don't want that. See, when you lose, you don't have to be accountable. We've all been poor before, most of us. Did we have to train for that? We didn't. There was no science to that. We didn't have to go get no literature to learn how to be poor. Y'all know that, right? We didn't have to ask somebody. We didn't have to nudge somebody and say, psst, 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 hey, I'm broke as shit. How do I do this? Nah, we didn't have to do none of that. Hey, psst, psst, I'm dysfunctional. How do I do this? We ain't need no advice on that. But as you begin to scale in the market, as you begin to scale in your career, scale in your human contribution, oh, now you have to read Think and Grow Rich. Now you have to begin to train, because as you move up the ladder, you begin to get around more competitive individuals. You have to go to seminars and conferences. You even, as you scale, have to be strategic in finding a mate. See, when you're poor, you'll lay with anything. It's all good. You don't got to be strategic in your mate picking. See, guys, when you become quality, you become top shelf, you got to position yourself where quality people are going to be. So you're going to cash out on the 10X conferences. You're going to go to the Black Enterprise conferences. Some of these conferences are $5,000, $7,000. That's all the shit you've been saving up. But you got to put something down and pick something up. So you put yourself in those positions for a come up. See, that takes training. Business book after business book after business book. Lecture after lecture after lecture. Gary V video after Gary V video. Grant Cardone video after Grant Cardone video. Hours and hours of Les Brown. Hours and hours of Tony Robbins. See, you don't got to do none of that when you fucking with the bottom. We talking about top shelf. It's not a dollar amount. It's behavior. It's thinking. It's the process. Oh, I'm spitting the word today. I need 10 people to go ahead and hit that tip jar. We giving the word today. We're going to go in. Yeah, I need 10 people to go hit that cash app, man. We giving a word today, right? See, when you start talking uppity, they start calling you names because you see yourself as more than what you are. If you're a woman that sees herself as somebody like, I'm too good for them black eyes, they start calling you words. If you're a dude and you're too good for the projects, yes, I'm saying too good for it. Yes, too good. Now, why are you too good? Because you don't put in the work. I ain't talking about no entitlement. I'm talking about work that is being put in. Operating at a certain level for a certain period of time. Standards, expectations, advocacy, foreign words where we're from. We live in America. There is no reason why our lifestyles are not top shelf unless we are professional fuck-ups. What that means, we are working hard to sabotage our lives, working hard not to have anything. See, when you look like this, there's a chip in your head that you didn't even know was there. It's a self-destruct chip. And the way that it works is you look around and notice that you're happy. You look around and someone is loving you. See, you don't think you're supposed to have that. You start getting anxiety because you're working a job and someone's paying you good, or your business is jugging and you can't believe it. So you start fidgeting and shit. You start looking for ways that you can ruin your life. You start looking for ways that this man will divorce you, because what's the catch? Ain't no man this perfect, right? What's the catch? Yeah, I know how you think. I know. So you want to see how much he can take, because he's just loving you, but you got that self-destruct chip in your head. Yeah. Or you a man and you wind up hollering at a woman and she wind up being cool as hell. And it caught you off guard. Oh, shit. She bad as hell and cool as shit. It caught you off guard. And she like, yeah, here, take my number. Let's get up. Because in your mind, you never expected a pretty woman to be cool as hell, especially not to you. See, I want to help you get that out of your head, and we want to unprogram that self-destruct chip and replace it with a better mentality. A mentality that got a return on investment. A mentality that'll put you around people living amazing lives. A mentality that'll put passports on your stamps on your passport. A mentality that'll have you fine wine drinking. A mentality that'll have you fine dining. A mentality that'll have your children looking at you with respect. And that's top shelf. I want to watch something with you guys real quick, because I want to get into conversations about advocacy and standards and expectations. But before we get into that conversation, we need a point of reference. So I want to watch something with you guys today. It's brief. And this is going to make my point about advocacy and standards and expectations. Foreign words. When you come from where we from, it's like you're speaking another language. So I want you guys to travel with me as we begin to unplug the self-destruct chip. I want you to travel with me as we begin to repair the damage that was placed on us by society, our peer group, and lies that we tell ourselves about us being unworthy, about us being not ready, right? About us being the struggle. So walk with me and you'll understand what I mean by standards and expectations and advocacy. You guys there? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys are there? Let me get a 2 in the chat. What the old people say? Blessed and highly favored. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you in the building. Let me get a 2 in the chat if you blessed and highly favored. All right, now. Let's do this. All right. Let's do this. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So now what I'm about to show you is about advocacy. What I'm about to show you is about building a standard and creating a mentality in a person. What I'm about to show you is rites of passage. All right, let's do it. Coin gang.
The ceremony tells a story that's like in the Christian book of Genesis, from the beginning of time. It tells about how the universe was created, how the world was created, and how we came about. And our culture and tradition is extremely important because it helps guide us. My granddaughter that's having her ceremony, she is really into her tribal ways. It'll keep her strong the rest of her life. And not only that, but it'll keep the tribe strong.
Can you guys hear? Can you hear?
When I hit puberty, we have this ceremony for the girls that are becoming into womanhood, to become young ladies. After the ceremony, it'll give me a lot of respect as a young lady. Makes me very proud that I'm representing my tribe.
There's 4 days. We do everything in 4 for the 4 sacred mountains.
You go through a baby to a child to a teenager and then to a woman.
She's tested kind of through hardships. 4 days of hard work. You try to keep as traditional as you can. And you live in a tipi for the 12 days, the 4 days before, the 4 main days, and the 4 days after. Every night you dance. And the 4th night you dance all night. And then while they're dancing outside, you dance in your big tipi in your home. Your medicine man, after he's done eating with you, he gives you an Apache name. Mine was Itza and Sehuti. And it's the lady who you first see.
These traditions, they amaze me a lot. Like I learn new things from my grandpa. And the ladies around here, they like it when young women have their feast.
Hey, good morning. I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you. It took me about 3 years to prepare for the ceremony, and I'm still preparing. You think you have all of it, but you don't. It's a lot to do. Getting the Indian food, buying gifts to pay the people that help, the material. So far, I spent like $10,000, but I would do it again to keep the tradition going.
Now that I've had my feasts, I feel like I can become stronger now. You just felt different while you were doing it. Like it felt like you were living a long time ago. And you didn't have to worry about all the stuff that's happening in the world right now. When you run on the first day, they bring it in. And it's showing that you're like the kids coming in. And on the last day, you run out and you try to run as far as you can.
A lot more families are going through the rites of passage than before. There's a renewed interest in it, and they finally get to know that the strength of our people lies with that. They're able to do things that before they were not able to. The U.S. government prohibited a lot of this stuff. They allow the families just to have a dinner and buy a new dress or something, and don't take part in these ceremonies. they're taught to hate themselves. In the schools, they would not allow you to speak in Apache and deal with these things in Apache, and the churches too. They turn us against one another. Our own tribal members, they say that our ways are wicked. It's worshiping the devil, and they don't realize what's happening to them. My granddaughter that's having her ceremony, no matter what, she'll never set aside her call for a tradition or allowance for anybody. She's a direct descendant of my grandpa, Geronimo. He had some spiritual powers, and he was able to deal with a lot of hardships. Not only is he an icon for the entire native tribes, but also for us Apache.
I've been learning these traditional healing practices from my grandma. She's been teaching me a lot about these. She's been teaching me how to use the plants, where they come from, how they work. Well, the women are noticed as healers because the men, they used to go off to war, and once they come back, some of them won't be sick. So the women would have to gather these plants for them to help heal them, so they'll be ready for the next war. And then the dancers danced around me, and they blessed me.
Jolene's my great-granddaughter. I'm showing her things like traditional foods and traditional ways, how to grow up and be a good lady later on.
An Apache woman should know how to care for her family and just pass things down that their grandmothers taught them and their mothers.
A lot of people don't understand some of the things that we do, like when our tribe gets together to eat, the men folks eat first because they have to be prepared at all times. They have to protect the tribe, so they eat first. And then some people don't understand that, and then they think that the woman has a lower status and lower position. But could not be further from the truth. Most sacred ones in our tribe are the women, so we have to protect them, take care of them. We have a few hardships within our tribe with the nuclear waste issues before. They tried to dump the nuclear waste on our land. We fought against it, and we fought against the mining of some of the rare minerals on our land, and now we're facing the refining companies that want to come in and pollute and destroy the atmosphere. So we face challenges every day, but with this rite of passage that my granddaughter's going through, it gives us the strength. When we sing and pray, it revives us, it renews our strength. You can face any challenges, and I don't feel threatened.
Some girls have breaks in the middle of the night. They sleep for an hour and then they get back up and keep doing it. But like, I kind of don't want to break. Like, I want to keep doing it because the longer you do it, the stronger you get.
There's no words to describe how I feel to see her going through it. And I see the whole family pitching in, and they're working hard. There's no way to repay them for everything that they do except to take part, continue to take part And all the things that was given to me throughout the years, the only way I can pay it back is pass it on down to my people.
Okay. What do you think her mindset is? What kind of mindset do you think she has? Okay. If it's buffering on YouTube, don't worry. I'll re-upload the video if it's buffering that bad. All right. What do you guys think the mindset is of this young lady? What do you think her mindset is? That was pretty interesting right there, right? She had to earn her womanhood. She had to earn it. She had to do physical things to be a woman. She had to earn a name for herself, right? Do you think she's going to operate from a perspective of top shelf? For sure. Do you think she's going to take less? No, right? She's going to demand and require more from a mate, from children, from people around her, right? You see what rites of passage, how it was training her. She had to earn everything. You see the people there for her? That gave her value. That was advocacy. A lot of us have never experienced people showing up for us. And that's where I want to go. Because to be top shelf, you have to have advocacy. You have to know what it's like for people to show up for you. You have to know the feeling of over you, somebody going to kill up everything. They're going to blow everything up over you. People going to feel it over you. That's advocacy. You can't think in terms of top shelf if you don't have no advocacy. When no one shows up for you, you don't feel valuable. Many of your low self-esteem perspectives, many of your self-sabotage comes from the fact that no one ever told you you was dope as hell. No one showed up to your basketball games. Very important moments in your life you had to do alone. You gave birth and no one showed up. You got married and no one showed up on your birthdays. No one never called. You was forgotten about. So moving forward in your life, you don't understand the concept of top shelf. How could you? Because you've never had no advocacy. Real quick, anybody on YouTube, is it still buffering? If so, I'm going to shut the YouTube stream down. Come over to Facebook. I'll upload the video to YouTube. Let me know in the chat. All right. Advocacy is super important. You need people to pull up on you. Hey, That's that chick. Hey, that's that dude. Huh. You need advocacy. She went through a rites of passage. This girl is on her way. For real. She's not going to get an abusive man. How could she? Did you see all those people there cheering her on? She had to suffer through the night to do something. She was physically exhausted. She had to earn a name. She had to earn a name. Powerful. Now, when you have advocacy, then you begin to have expectations. When people advocate for you, they expect something from you. They expect you to be great. Why? Because you have got their attention. They have gave you their resources. They have vouched for you. They have an expectation of you. Many people's behavior is the way it is because no one expects anything from them. And let me tell you something, being black is not enough. Having a vagina is not enough. Having a penis, I don't care how big it is. I don't care how good you stroke. That's not enough. That's why you're used to doing the bare minimum based on your potential because you never had advocacy and people don't expect anything from you. Nothing. That's a problem. I ain't going. If you hear the words of my voice, I expect something from you, just like you expect something from me. No, you don't owe me shit, but I do expect something from you. What do I mean by that? I expect you to be a role model to your children, a hero to your children. I expect you to practice self-care. I expect you not to crash out. I expect you to be an independent thinker. How could you not be those things? I am. And if you fucking with me, you got to be that too, because I ain't rolling with no slouches. Period. You can't kick it with me. I don't eat at certain places. I'm not chilling at certain places. What? Nah. I expect something from you. The best version of you. That's it. Not the best black man you can be. That's trash. Not the best black woman or Mexican woman you can be. Them is brands and labels. I'm talking about the best version of you based on your potential. What? The best version. Advocacy. Someone showing up for you. We just seen what it looks like. We just seen rites of passage. See, we don't come from rites of passage. You don't got to be shit but black. That's it. You know what's interesting? Which is sad? When these police brutality incidents occur, the only thing they can say about the dude is that he's black. There ain't even really no advocacy. Black Lives Matter got to show up for the advocacy. Why? That tells you about the circle that these people have. They don't run their resume down because there ain't one. Because being black is enough. They're not marching for a scientist. They're not marching for a biologist. They're not marching for an economist. They're not marching for a painter, an investor, a chemist, a farmer. No, they're just marching for a black man. That ain't shit. Sorry, folks. My Monopoly board, you got to pass go to get 200. Sorry. We have to have some expectations over here. Or what are we working with? Go back to the beginning. What kind of future will the people have if you reward mediocrity? You mean to tell me all you gotta do is be black and that's it? That's all y'all require? Skin. That tells me that if you think like that, you have no future. How could you? How could you? That's mediocre. Men and women are known by their works. What are your works? What are you doing? What have you done? Where are you going? Many people run from expectations. And when they run from expectations, it creates a culture of losing. Y'all didn't know losing was a culture? And it's contagious. Losing is more contagious than COVID-19. It spreads like wildfire because it's easy to do. That's where the majority of the people are at. People lose often because it's familiar. It's girls out there with massive amounts of potential, but her innocence was snatched from her. Never had no advocacy, never had no expectations of her. So she crashes out. And now she giving blowjobs in an alleyway. What happened to that genius? She used to have dreams. What happened? She used to have an imagination. What happened? What happened to that boy that's now doing life in prison? He was a nerd. He liked putting together model airplanes. How's he doing life in jail? How does that happen? Oh, I get it. They come from a people that don't know what to do with talent. They don't know what to do with you if you're a dreamer. It only recognizes pain. It only responds and helps and assists you when you're in pain. But if you have an imagination, if you have your innocence intact, if you have that spark, if you have that thing in you that wants to live, that wants to celebrate, they don't know what to do with it. Generation of vipers, man. So you got advocacy. You got expectations. A lot of people don't want that. Losing is normal. Losing is its own culture. Clearly. There is not a white man in sight. Not a white man in sight. And that man take his hand and put it in a woman's face. And the reason for it is because of slavery. Two people getting into it on the street. One guy pulls out a gun, blasts another guy's head off. That was because he couldn't find a job? McDonald's is hiring. Burger King is hiring. Oh, well, that ain't gonna feed a family. Well, you ain't feeding a family now. You're doing life. You still caught an L. At least if you would have took the McDonald's and the Burger King, you could put something on it. You can put 25 cents on top of that 10 cents, 75 cents on top of that 25, $1 on top of that 75, and just watch your shit pile up. Where there's a will, there's a way. But I understand. I get it. You never had advocacy. You never had no one show up for you at critical moments in your life. It's important. You needed the language, the validation of other people to verify your greatness. You needed to be told you was dope, you fire. You needed that young, because now you old now. And now there's no neuroplasticity in the mind in terms of compliments. I get it. I don't agree, but I get it. I've been there. There's another way. Top shelf. So you got advocacy, you got expectations. That leads to what? Standards. You know what's funny? They'll tell you, I don't never settle. I got standards. How? You have procrastination. How? You're stressed and depressed. Nah. Them femininity coaches are lying to you, sis. You ain't shit. You're entitled. You've never grinded in your life. You've never thought an original thought in your life. Stop it, 5. Black man, you was told that you the original man. You the original man. For real. I don't believe you. So you got 3 types of standards. You got national standards, you got cultural standards, you got individual standards. National standards are, the country that you live in, America, the national standard is capitalism. That's the national standard. So that's standards that you're born into, and you adapt and adjust, and you figure it out, right? Then you have cultural standards. Now that one is tricky, because cultural standards is very, very hidden, and it imposes its will on you without you even knowing it. I'll give you an example. The cultural standards of how you look like you and I is victimology. That's the cultural standard. To be a victim, no matter what's going on, turn it into a victim situation. That is a cultural standard. Victimology. Losing. Hey, you know what's funny? You never hear if a dude got a body, he's not a coon. A jack boy is not a sellout. There's really no derogatory term for a D-boy, right? Cool. Herman Cain is a coon. Huh? Ben Carson, there's a derogatory name attached to a brain surgeon. What? The more foul you are in the street or in life, there's no derogatory term for you. No, there is a derogatory. No, it's not. There's no derogatory term. The more successful you are, though, they attach derogatory terms to you. Successful in business. Coon sellout agent. Cool. Gangbanger. Real nigga. Hey, man, I can't make this up. I can't make this up, man. Make it make sense. Your top achievers have derogatory terms associated with them because you don't agree with their politics. But the low-level people, there's no derogatory term for them. That's confusing, but I get it. That's the cultural standard. The cultural standard is rebellion and to be counter everything. Counter what people do to get a win. Oh, going to college? Man, screw that. You know what? We had a baby. We probably should get married. Man, screw that. You know what? I'm focused on my money. Man, money ain't everything. It's upside down. National standards, cultural standards. Now, here goes the opportunity to scale because you have individual standards. See, your individual standards give you the opportunity to be top shelf, even if your cultural standards ain't there. So now you have to be confident, even if you didn't have advocacy, to rise above cultural standards and replace that with individual standards. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you come from Black America, the cultural standard is garbage. You have to develop an individual standard that supersedes that debauchery. Trash. A lot of you don't even have individual standards. You have cultural standards. You don't even know what works for you. You don't have a personal philosophy. That's why, I like to go in this direction. I think it is real cowardice to always try to say the ancestors. That means you turn your brain off and let other people think for you. They ain't here. The ancestors. That's because you don't want to do no work. So you want to re-up off other people's lives. One second. I'm on Facebook. I'll upload to YouTube when I'm done. So I'm gonna shut the YouTube down, fam, because it's I think playing that video, it did violated something. So I'm on Facebook. Just look for me, Ken Brisbane. All right. So I'm gonna shut this down and then I'll re-upload it on YouTube and they'll let it go. All right. So I'm gonna shut this YouTube down real quick. Okay. Facebook fam still here? All right. Had to shut the YouTube down. A lot of you have cultural standards, but you don't have individual standards. Make that make sense. So that's why you're quick to run to the quote of someone else. Malcolm said, this person said, that person said, yeah, I get it. But they're dead. You're alive. What does it look like to you? You're in a whole nother age. You're in a whole nother season. What does it look like to you, fam? You got to do the work. And at this point, you have to throw the cultural standards in the trash because it doesn't work. It celebrates losing. And you have to replace it You have to replace the cultural standard with an individual standard that works for you. We're almost to the end, y'all. Let's talk about finished product, because this has everything to do with being top shelf. See if I can wrap this up in like 15 minutes. Make sure the moves you're making in the beginning represent where you want to be in the end. Think of yourself like you're already there already. Think of yourself as already being home and work your way backwards. Make sure what you're doing now, represents where you want to be later. Finished product. So I got a homework for you in your journals, in the things that you use as goals and vision boards. Write the complete man and the complete woman. Write it out. What does it look like? Write you finished already. And then audit where you are right now and see if the life you're living matches up with what you wrote down in terms of finished product. But on the day-to-day, the grind and homework, that's what really glues this top shelf thing together. I am an American. This is all I know. I'm an American. I have no problem with capitalism. I have a problem being on the bottom of it. But I am an American. Period. The cultural standard of Black America teaches you to be un-American. But I'm not taking advice from the most losing group. Losing in behavior. Losing in business practices. Losing in entrepreneurship. Losing in import and exporting. Losing in mating. Top shelf or nothing. So you got the grind and you got homework. The grind and homework really brings this thing together of top shelf. Because the things you do behind the scenes, that's what makes you a legend. The things you do when no one is looking, that's what makes you a legend. And the homework is to master your craft. Whatever your hand touch, I don't give a damn if you are a janitor. Know every single chemical there is. Know every broom. Know every mop. Know every floor and every insect in your area. When a person walks into the building, they marvel at the floor, how shiny it is, because they can see their reflection. If you were in customer service, give people a lasting impression. Give them an experience. Use language that makes the customer and seller experience feel amazing. Whatever your hand does, do it at the maximum. But you get there from homework. When no one is looking, when everybody has clocked out, what are you reading? Are you studying your craft? Whatever it is, I don't care if that ain't your dream job. Are you the best at it though? If the answer is no, you're not going to be the best when you start your own business. Before you tell me that you hate that job, you have to be the best at it first. Are you the best at the job? If the answer is no, then you're not doing the behind the scenes work and you don't exhibit a top shelf mentality. Sorry. Because top shelf mentality, it doesn't matter what we are doing it with all our might. We are doing it with all of our attention. We are doing it with all of our being. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Top shelf is a mentality. Top shelf is a philosophy. Top shelf is the possibility of where you can be if you operate at a certain standard. This ain't nothing to do with brand names. It's quality. It's having a relationship with the things you do have. Even if you live in a shack, how do you keep it? You only have that body. How do you keep it? Top shelf is a mentality, man. And I'm sorry, if you come from the background I come from, you're going to have to put down the cultural standard so you can pick up an individual top shelf mentality. And what that is going to do, it's going to open a whole world up for you of other individuals that think top shelf. And you guys are going to begin to have a relationship with each other. And next thing you know, you are a group of 100. Times that by 10 years, you are a community of 1,000. Times that by another 10. It's 5,000. And there you go. You have a new group of people that have generations under their belt of operating at a certain level, a commitment to excellence behind the scenes. And then when it's time to perform, can't nobody mess with you. You make it look effortless because you sweat when no one is looking. You got to have audacity to have top shelf philosophy because you're going to get pushback. And I'm telling you, hang in there. They're going to call you everything but a child of God. I'm telling you, hang in there. Your phone ain't going to ring like it used to. I'm telling you, hang in there. It's going to be a little lonely and uncomfortable because you're transitioning from trash to top shelf. And that middle phase right there, it's going to be a little uncertain and a little unfamiliar. And I'm telling you, hang in there. Hang in there. It's worth it. It's nothing but what legends do. And it comes with being a little bit uncomfortable for a period of time. Right? It's alchemy. Top shelf is alchemy. Going from that base metal to real gold. Going from a nobody to a somebody. Going from a doubter to a believer. Going from an underachiever to an overachiever. From ordinary to extraordinary. From suicidal to worthy. From the forgotten to the most talked about. Top shelf. that's it for today, everybody. You can hit that Cash App, make it ring. I appreciate you. I have my course coming, How to Campaign Hard as a Motherfucker. It's like 7 hours full of craziness, right? To be on the lookout for that. You know, I'm still deciding if I'm a do a live stream or whatever, but it's going to be crazy. So be on the lookout for that. And, you know, hit that line 888-565-8734. That's the Nothing But Game hotline. That's if you want to, you know, chop it up with me behind the scenes, and I could get you from A to Z, but it ain't for free. So holla at me when you're ready. It's $1.99 a minute. I don't want my time wasted, and I won't waste yours. You know what I mean? But top shelf for nothing in everything. In your marriages, top shelf in your finances, top shelf in your health, in your spiritual journey, where you choose to live, how you raise your children, right? How you represent yourself in public. Top shelf for nothing, right? And don't worry about the feeling in the moment of you going to transition. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but hang in there. Ken Billy, peace.